Good evening. 3 years ago, Sammy Siddom was walking home after watching a West Ham game when he was stabbed to death in Newham in what's thought to be a case of mistaken identity. Since then, 10 people have been arrested, but no one has ever been charged with his murder. Police believe an anonymous caller may hold crucial information about Sammy's killers. Sam Holder reports.
3 years ago today, Samira's world fell apart. A single father now grieving for his only child. Sammy Siddom was 18 when he was stabbed to death. His killers thought he was someone else.
So we used to do everything together and we used to go everywhere together. So there is no place that I go to that doesn't remind me of him. There is nothing that I do that doesn't remind me of him. So I miss him everywhere you can imagine. Everywhere I go to, there is always a reminder of him.
Sammy had been walking home from watching West Ham, a promising law student, gentle and well-behaved. He had no reason to suspect he was in danger. Police believe there was a fight between two gangs earlier that evening, and he may have been mistaken as a rival.
It's something you never expect to happen to such a wonderful young man. The pain of losing him doesn't change.
Since Sammy was killed, 10 people have been arrested, but nobody charged with murder. There is, though, one key lead. Somebody has tipped off the police multiple times, and now £20,000 is being offered for information. Normally when the police put out an appeal, it's a general appeal, really, but in this instance, there is someone very specific you're trying to speak to. Is that right?
Somebody has contacted us anonymously on a few occasions now, providing information, including the name of what they describe as the main person responsible. If they're concerned about their safety or whatever, we can do things to assist them, protect them, and move that forward.
Sammy was killed right by his family home. His dad says his life ended too that day. He wants the killers caught, so no parent suffers the same pain as him. Sam Holder, ITV News.
A woman who was arrested in connection with the disappearance and murder of Sarah Everard has had her bail extended. Sarah's body was found in Woodland in Kent more than a week after she was last seen in South London on March the 3rd. The woman, who is in her 30s, was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender and has now been bailed until early June. Serving police officer Wayne Cousins has been charged with murder. Police have seized £2.5 million worth of suspected counterfeit clothes and electronic devices after they opened up 22 shipping containers in Ealing. Officers used angle grinders to open the 20-foot containers containing fake designer belts, bags, earpods and mobile phones. Over the last week, people have been sharing their stories and memories of Prince Philip. The Westminster House Youth Club has been described by MPs as one of the many success stories of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Katie Barnfield went for a look around.
Do you want to see if anybody wants to try it, taste it?
Training for their Duke of Edinburgh Award. But these young people would never have been able to do this without Westminster House Youth Club. At the Peckham Club, they provide everything, from the activities to the food, for free.
When called for interviews, when I told them I'd done my Duke of Edinburgh, those people, they're always in shock.
Reese came to the club every week for 8 years and did his bronze, silver and gold award here.
And you went to Buckingham Palace to pick up your award as well,
yes,
didn't you?
in 2018.
What was that like?
It was just an amazing experience, seeing the royal family, meeting people that you never usually meet.
You can dive in and learn the art of life-saving.
Started by Prince Philip himself in 1956, the Duke of Edinburgh Awards are a series of physical and mental challenges designed to develop skills for life. Westminster House puts around 40 young people through the awards every year, even getting a mention in the House of Commons for their work.
They get more black and minority ethnic young people through the awards than almost anyone else. Many of their young people have had a difficult start in life or have not thrived at school, and yet through the Duke of Edinburgh Awards find a route through to self-confidence.
It takes you places that you didn't know. It builds your confidence in ways that you wouldn't imagine that it could build your confidence.
Nancy did her award here in 2016, and has now come back to lead other young people at Westminster House.
It's an important milestone for some young people, and especially in your career, it changes the way employers look at you. When you say to them that you've done your Duke of Edinburgh, they understand the amount of time that a person would have to put in order to complete that.
Prince Philip would often personally meet young people who completed their Gold Award. Zoe met him twice, once at Westminster House and again when she collected her award from him.
What was he like?
Very witty, and he is quite funny, but he did also encourage and support young people doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and he did understand how hard it may be for some people to complete it, but he did encourage us. I think young people will remember him from doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. If I'm completing the Duke of Edinburgh, it's making me proud, it's making my family proud, and he knows that his legacy is living on.
A legacy many of the young people here say will stay with them for life. Katie Barnfield, ITV News.
Nice. Brilliant. That's it.
And now to Shakespeare's Globe, where for over 40 years Prince Philip served as patron. His support was integral in turning the theatre from an idea into reality. Part of the foundations of the building by the Thames are the oaks he donated from Great Windsor Park. He and the Queen then opened the building in 1997. On and off the stage, the Globe says it has lost a friend, as Rags Martel now reports.
At the Globe, a flag at half-mast. Behind the scenes, Philip was this theatre's royal stagehand.
He'd been involved with Shakespeare's Globe for over 40 years, had taken a great interest right up to the times when he was stepping down from many of his patronages. This is the Great Globe itself.
During 4 decades of his life, he was the Globe's patron, overseeing the fitting of its first foundations and attending the royal opening night.
How important was he to the creation of the Globe Theatre?
Many people were involved in supporting Sam Wanamaker in trying to get this theatre built. Prince Philip immediately liked the idea of building a theatre that Shakespeare would recognise and felt that actually, as I heard that someone said, it was a damn good thing.
Even when the theatre was just a dream, he helped get the money for it to be built.
Well, this is always in my office. It's the 1982 fundraising brochure for North America, and it's got a foreword from our royal patron in saying what this beautiful theatre could be, and please support us. But also, it wasn't just one royal patron. We had Princess Grace of Monaco with a beautiful photo of her.
Prince Philip didn't just help with the funding of the Globe Theatre, but actually helped build it by donating oak trees from Windsor.
He came up with the idea of providing some oak. I believe at that time oak was quite scarce in the UK, and indeed we had to, shock horror, import some oak from France to help build the Globe Theatre.
One of you is sitting near a post which came from an oak tree in Windsor Great Park. I don't know which one it is. If anything falls down, it'll probably be that one.
But with him donating oak from Windsor Great Park did mean that then other landowners across the country donated oak. So I'm not sure which of the bays is the Windsor Bay, but we do know that he was sitting there with Her Majesty the Queen for the opening in 1997. And they arrived by boat down the Thames in a way that maybe the courts did 400 years ago and watched the opening performance.
The Globe has had many a memorable night since it opened and brought smiles to thousands, in part thanks to its patron prince. Rags Martel, ITV News, at the Globe Theatre.
Let's find out how the weather's going to be this weekend now. Here's Chris Page with the forecast.
Hello there. Very good evening to you. Across the capital, first thing this morning, a rather cold and frosty start yet again. Temperatures drop down as low as -2 to -3 degrees. By this afternoon, they jump back up to around 12 Celsius, but it is still rather cool for the time of year. But for the weekend, the dry weather is here to stay, still with some sunny spells in the forecast, starting to turn a touch milder as our temperatures creep up, but we'll still hold on to those chilly nights, though, for all of us, because we've still got that high pressure in place. And you can see it here, just holding out these weather fronts towards the west, but as we go through the weekend and towards the start of next week, you can see the oranges and reds start to push their way across the country, meaning that it will start to turn a little bit less cold. Back to the here and now, though. Through the rest of this evening and overnight, we hold on to the clearing skies, and underneath clear skies and light winds, yes, there will be a few pockets of mist and fog by dawn, but also quite a widespread frost. In fact, a rather chilly start to our day on Saturday morning, but it shouldn't last too long. The mist and fog soon lifting and breaking, the fog melting away, and we hold on to sunshine by the afternoon too. The winds stay fairly light, maybe some fair weather cloud here and there, but top temperatures 15 degrees Celsius, that's 59 in Fahrenheit. As we go through Sunday, still some sunshine in the forecast. Again, another rather warm day to come compared to recent days, and the mild theme is here to stay as we go into next week with some dry weather around too. Good night.
And that's how it's looking in London this Friday night. We're here through the weekend. Good night.